To the prison planet where everything is designed to make you suffer and your energy is being harvested. Alright, so this is my series about the prison planet. If you didn't see the previous videos, it's essentially what I was saying in the opening. The prison planet theory dictates that we are always tricked into reincarnation. We come back to this world because our energy is being harvested. Well, what kind of energy is being harvested? Our negative energy, and that's why everything in this world is designed to make us feel so negative. You can watch the previous videos if this is your first one, but today we're going to talk about Buddhism and what it potentially says about the prison planet theory. So the Buddha taught that reincarnation is an endless cycle of suffering. This cycle is called samsara. The opposite of samsara is nirvana, and that is a state of absolute joy, peace, and just extreme happiness. Well, what is samsara? It is depicted as a wheel. There's a lot going on here, and so we're going to dive into this, piece by piece, or some of the pieces. If we end up going too long, I might have to do a part 2. So at the center of the wheel, you have the 3 poisons, which are depicted as a pig, a rooster, and a snake. The pig represents ignorance. We're ignorant to the fact that we are all connected. It is thinking like an individual, only thinking for yourself. It is biting the tail of the rooster, which is represented by desire, because if you're only thinking about an individual, you're going to desire things, more money, more women, more men, whatever. This desire leads to jealousy, to hate, which is depicted by the snake. You're comparing yourself to others. You should have what they have. They have more than you. These 3 poisons are depicted biting the tails because they show that every single one of these poisons leads to the other, and it creates this endless cycle. By giving into the poisons, you live in this illusion that it is about you, that it is only you, that we are not all connected, and it starts this wheel of samsara. How and where you reincarnate is dictated by your karma. Everybody has heard the word karma, but most people do not actually understand what karma is. You often hear karma's a bitch, what comes around goes around, but that's not actually what karma is. In the Bible, Jesus talks about the chains of the devil that bind us down. And I think that explains karma really well, because what karma is every action that you have with someone, whether you hurt them, whether you do something good, whatever it is, you create a karmic debt. We are all tied to one another with these karmic debts, these chains. Debts need to be repaid. And therefore, we are in this endless cycle of reincarnation because so much debt has accrued. Not all debt is bad. Your karma dictates which realm you will reincarnate into. Like I said, there's 6 realms. You have the gods, the demigods, and the humans. You also have animals, hungry ghosts, and demon creatures or hell-like creatures. So if you're incarnated as a god, you know no suffering. Everything is pleasurable, everything is amazing. Your suffering comes at the end of your life. They live extremely long lives, by the way, but at the end of your life, you realize that you will incarnate at a lesser realm. That's where the suffering happens. An oversimplification of how you would get to this realm would be if you have a lot of positive karma, but a lot of pride. Next, you have the demigods. These are extremely powerful beings, but they're also controlled by jealousy. There's a lot of infighting, there's a lot of comparison. If you have a lot of good karma, but a lot of desire, this is where you go. A lot of Buddhist legends also say that this is where the tree of life is. The tree of knowledge of good and evil, as spoken about in the Garden of Eden, that would actually be in the realms of the gods. I'm going to skip over humans, we'll talk about that one last, but you have the realms of the animals. Animals suffer from cold, hunger, sickness, cannibalism, and a lack of intelligence. If you accrue negative karma and a lot of ignorance, this is where you would go. There's a lot of ignorance in this world, like willing ignorance. Next, you have the hungry ghosts. They suffer because their hunger, their thirst is never quenched. A lot of Buddhists talk about this is where you could potentially go if you have negative karma and addictions that are unresolved. Hence, hunger's not being quenched. It's an absolute torturous existence. Negative karma and greed is the combination for this. The most torturous existence is the hell creatures. This existence is extremely long suffering, and this is negative karma and hatred.